From school districts to public health departments, city councils to state legislatures, these government agencies and elected bodies make policies, allocate funding, and implement programs that impact our communities. Given the influence and power that government entities have, it is essential that nonprofits successfully communicate with and engage government leaders. Whether you want to point out how a proposed policy can help or hurt the community, bring attention to community needs that require government collaboration, or advocate for greater resources to support local residents, you must develop a game plan. When communicating with government leaders, please consider the following. Your approach matters. Government leaders and staff are often working with limited time and resources. They can be wary of ideas they perceive will add to their workload. Disarm them by emphasizing how the policy you're recommending has the potential to make their jobs easier. Reputations matter. Many elected leaders are motivated by actions that will enhance their reputation and are cautious about decisions that can backfire and make them look bad. Explain the benefits of your idea, provide evidence that it will work, and highlight the opportunity for them to take credit. Relationships matter. Who government leaders hear from can often be more important than the idea itself. Decision makers are far more likely to be receptive to your advocacy position if they hear it from those they know, trust, and matter to them. Community voices matter. When constituents bring forth an issue, government leaders are more likely to listen. It's important to show you have access to community insights. Gathering testimonials and completing surveys is an efficient way to demonstrate that you are connected at the grassroots level. Data and research matter. Data and research can go a long way in persuading government leaders to support your cause. Be sure to include case studies and other research. Lobbying rules matter. Before you do anything, work with your legal counsel to understand the lobbying limits applicable to your organization and whether or not a specific activity constitutes lobbying. Money matters. Be clear about the budget implications of a particular issue. How much will it cost? Does it require new dollars to be allocated? What are potential sources of funding? And what is the cost of not addressing the issue? How could your idea save money? To begin, your government communication approach should include the following steps. First, do power mapping. This involves identifying government leaders who wield the most influence on your issue. Is it the head of a government department? Is it a state or local government decision? The mayor or the governor? There are multiple layers in government circles. You'll want clarity about who are the key decision makers that you must direct your communications and efforts toward. And don't forget staff members who can influence government decision makers. They can be the most important. Second, do your research. Learn more about the priorities of the government leaders and what they care most about. What is their reputation? Who are their allies and opponents? What is their voting history, and how have they voted on similar issues in the past? Ask your network what they know about them. This will not only help inform your message, but determine who you need to have on your side to yield the most influence. Third, consider timing and community context. Become knowledgeable about the decision-making process and what steps need to be taken at what times. Is there a legislative calendar or an appropriation schedule guiding when ideas are considered by lawmakers and when decisions are made? Align your engagement activities with this process. For example, it may be more impactful to schedule a press conference the day before and the day of an important government hearing versus weeks in advance. It's also important to understand what is happening in the community. Is there something going on in the community that you can use to make government leaders pay more attention? Is there something that leaders are focused on right now, and how does that help or distract from your advocacy priorities? Fourth, tailor your message and find the right messenger. The head of a state agency might be persuaded by data. On the other hand, an elected official might be more interested in understanding how a particular issue impacts their district or constituents. Be sure to make your message relevant to the values and priorities of that government leader. It's important that your message is approachable and avoids too much jargon. Narrow down the most important things to that person and what action you want them to take. And identify people who have relationships with these officials that you can recruit and activate to be key messengers for your issue. Fifth, identify stories and data you want to include in your message. Are there people stories from the community that would resonate with these leaders? Data from a trusted source that you can package in simple ways. In developing your communication game plan, consider the following types of tactics to best engage government leaders. One-on-one meetings. Set up meetings with government leaders and their staff. Staff members often are the gatekeepers and the ones you need to convince first to ultimately influence a government leader. And leverage your network to get in touch with them. Be sure to include key people in those meetings who have relationships with the leaders and staff you're targeting. News coverage. Government leaders pay close attention to news coverage. Assess opportunities to drive new articles or place opinion editorials about your issue. This might cause leaders to pay closer attention to a community issue or proposed policy, and it takes some type of action. Make sure your target outlet aligns with where your audience gets their news. For an op-ed, it also matters who is in the byline, so make sure the author is a trusted, authoritative figure who can speak to the issue. Develop briefing materials. Create concise materials to help educate government leaders about an issue. For example, you could develop a 2-page document that summarizes key data, community needs, resident stories, recommendations, and potential impact and benefits of a proposed policy. Provide testimonials. Government leaders can often be swayed by hearing first-person accounts from local residents and community leaders. Testimonials from key messengers can help validate specific needs, demand action be taken, and provide support for a particular policy. Leverage coalitions. Utilize the power of coalitions to demonstrate to government leaders that there's a critical mass of people who care about a particular issue. This could involve a letter writing campaign, having coalition members tag government leaders in social media posts and make comments on their social media feed, or having groups of people seek meetings with that person. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to government communication, but these key considerations and ideas will help you identify the right approach for your specific needs. Be sure to develop a well-researched, timely communication plan that is tailored for the government leaders and staff who can help you advance your goals. Engage and update your leaders through coalitions, meetings, testimonials, news coverage, social media, and briefing materials. Learn more at strategiccommunicationtools.com.